Right now, it sure feels like MAGA and the right are at the apex of their power, which I suppose suggests it couldn't possibly get worse and probably shouldn't do that. But let's think about this. Was the election a landslide? No, it was not. I do not believe that. But when you factor in everything else, so consider, yes, it was the first time in 20 years a Republican won the popular vote. We did see a rightward shift in most districts. He won a convincing electoral college majority. He has control of the House. He has control of the Senate, a Republican supermajority on the Supreme Court, two of the eldest members of which say that they're not going to retire, but that could change tomorrow. And it really affords Trump an opportunity to have a MAGA majority, not just a right wing supermajority, but a Trump appointed MAGA majority that will be with us for a generation. To say nothing of the fact that Justice Sotomayor, who's I think a 70-year-old diabetic, she could tip over tomorrow, right? So there's that. They control a majority of state legislatures, a majority. And I'll also point out some of the little, even petty acts of defiance we've seen from red states, even in the last few days of the Biden administration. So you have Texas and other red states defying President Biden's order about flags, which I don't know if that's unprecedented. Certainly, I've not heard about it in my lifetime. And yes, we have had we've had the flags at half mast or lower mast
Reagan.
during with it was Nixon, I believe it was under President Nixon after was it Kennedy who died? Yeah, and so there's been context.
Reagan too, I believe, but yeah.
Sorry. It may have been Reagan too, but I'm pretty sure I know one with Nixon. So like even these little petty acts where they felt content to give the president the middle finger. We saw Texas do it repeatedly over the last year with regards to the southern border. They have mainstream media. So one of the things, folks, that you need to remember is Fox is mainstream. Fox is bigger than CNN and MSNBC combined. They are the mainstream. Don't buy into the bullshit, dishonest framing that they're the fringe, that they're the counterculture. They set the culture. And then the rest of the mainstream media, including CNN, I would argue, and I think I could make a very compelling case, they grade Trump on a curve. They feel the need to create this artificial balance. Don Lemon, CNN veteran, admitted that that was the ethos, that was the sentiment of CNN and mainstream news networks, that they had to find some sort of fake balance so they could avoid allegations of being liberally biased, which that didn't help. So they have the media. They have alternate media. I was just on Tim Pool's show with Luke Beasley. Tim Pool is a massive, even now. You have the Daily Wire, its constituent creators, all of whom are titans. Titans. If you look at the top 10 podcasts, to the extent that any of them are political, they are either openly right-wing or right-coded. They have the world's richest man behind them, who is now at the zenith of his power. He is brazenly meddling in politics the way we have never seen billionaires do before. We have him openly threatening members of Congress who are in the opposition, saying he will fund primary opponents against him, including in his own party. He's meddling in the affairs of foreign politics as well. You have Twitter. Studies have shown that after Musk openly endorsed Donald Trump, that we saw a major engagement shift favoring right-wing accounts. That's just a matter of fact. Was it natural or was it artificial? Well, they believe it was artificial, but either way, the engagement disparity is there. You have Facebook capitulating with Mark Zuckerberg bending the knee. So that's Facebook and Instagram. You have what's going on with TikTok. TikTok was the one social media app which skewed left. And of course, there's a debate about whether it was a productive version of the left because, you know, the left that skewed on TikTok, a lot of them hated Democrats, our closest political proxy. And now TikTok is basically in the bag for Trump. There was no reason for TikTok to shut down the other day. The Biden administration said they would not enforce the ban. They did it to create an outrage to give Donald Trump cover. And that message, that bullshit message, thanks to President Trump, thanks to this and that, like we're seeing TikTok capitulate. And as far as I'm concerned, I do think Democrats fuck the politics of that spectacularly. I'm sorry, we are past the point where even if you believe TikTok is a national security threat and that, you know, they either need to be divested from ByteDance or just banned outright, I'm sorry, we are past the point where doing the right thing is by itself enough. The message to Democrats should be, please do the right thing, but be prepared to politically defend it. And if you can't do it or won't do it, perhaps you should do the politically strategic thing instead. Because it's possible this will be an own goal by Democrats. And so you take all of this together, plus the Supreme Court decision that empowers Trump even further. it's really bad for us. We are outgunned institutionally. They have a lot of money behind them, and they are just getting started. And they understand politics and power in a way that we don't. Democrats are good at winning elections. I'll close with this. This idea that, oh, Democrats don't know how to win elections. It's bullshit. We win a lot. We won in 2018. We won in 2020, 2022, 2021, 2023. We can win elections. But in so many ways, we had to contend like it was an uphill battle, and now that hill seems like a sheer cliff. So please take it seriously. All of these institutions are formidable. Take it seriously. We're the underdogs, and the thing that you should be thinking is, what can I do to make our disadvantage a little better, a little less severe? That should be guiding your political actions. If that means breaking bread with people you might not otherwise agree with, so be it. If that means, fighting Republicans viciously on political issues, so be it. But your goal should be, is my action going to make this a little bit better? That's the only way we can possibly survive, in my opinion, politically. Sorry for dropping it, but I feel like so many of these institutional advantages that the Republicans have, we gloss over them. And so it's important to really put it in context.